until you can see the back of our heads.
And there's this one way back there, so it's only,
Oh, okay. I didn't know if they were cameras up here and.
no, the only one is that
Right.
one right back there.
You know, one of the things I'm gonna do is try about how many cameras in county.
You usually see it when Rick first turns it on. Yeah. John, what do you think?
Me,
You look good, Dan, it doesn't matter.
You understand that? The experience here? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Dan, if you look up at the TV here,
did they ever get the new cabinets in
yeah, last week,
finally?
last
No.
week.
We even have running
After
water.
how many?
And
That's,
ice.
that's what the camera sees.
Yes, there it
Yeah.
is.
Oh,
That's all,
okay.
that's all that can be seen.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Oh, yeah, right there is a better.
You can drop me out of that if you want.
Okay.
Hey, guys.
There they are. Call my friends.
Okay.
What's going on?
Not much, was just waiting on you, Nick.
Story of my life.
We've been here for an hour.
We're always waiting on somebody, aren't we?
Yeah.
And normally it's me. I forgot
No.
to turn the projectors on.
Yeah, I'm
The meeting-
talking in life
I've been
in
sitting on the
general.
meeting and we just forgot to turn the whole system on, so that was on me. It's 5:16, John.
I was waiting for you to get
I
our
know,
projector turned
I
on.
know, it's my fault.
Gotta wait on Nick.
We want to make it official. Okay, 5:15, so we will open this June meeting of the Board of Aviation Commissioners, and the first thing on the agenda is the May minutes. Everybody should have received.
I make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay, moving right along. We get to go to the claims. So anything special, Nick?
I don't think there's anything too exciting. Was looking to see. Do you guys have any specific questions on anything?
What's Keystone Cooperative?
That is our, that is where we purchase our fuel, our diesel, and our mow gas for the mowers and the tractors and the other equipment at the airport. That's the
It used
co-op.
to be No Central Co-op. They changed their name again.
Yep.
Okay.
We have a 500 gallon, 87 octane tank as well as a 500 gallon diesel tank.
All right, who's your equipment services?
They help us maintain our fueling systems at the airport. So Hoosier does all of our annual testing, and if we have a break in the fuel system, whether that's with the Vita root system or a pipe is leaking or anything like that, Hoosier is the company we've been using for the last 18, 24 months to get that stuff fixed.
Okay, and Amazon. You
Off
had to
to-
buy equipment of some type.
Yeah, as I've said in previous meetings, we've had
Yep.
certain things that we just can't source locally anymore, and that's where we can find it, where we have an account.
Okay. I make a
Let me just-
motion to accept the,
Here's that.
the vendors for, Ascent Aviation for $24,191.91.
Been moved to accept the claims, and especially the 24,191.91. Do I have a second?
I'll second the May claims.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next on our agenda is recognition of visitors. Thank you, everyone. Big crowd. All right, managers report.
Engineers report.
Huh?
Engineers report.
Oh, sorry, missed you guys. Where'd they go? Oh,
They're there.
That's all right.
there you are.
Good evening, everyone.
We're missing Rob's big head. That's why you guys didn't see it right
Yeah.
away.
Isn't that excellent? If you can go ahead and snap a picture now, that'd be great. So got a few items to cover tonight, fairly quick though, I think. So, on the AEP project, the power line project, we had a good call, I would say, last Thursday. One of our bi-weekly update calls with the team. We've been pestering them for some updates on where they are financially with the project, as they're soliciting bids for materials and as well as installation contractors. And so we haven't seen actual numbers from them, but verbally they're still working within the budget that was used to establish the grant, which is a good thing. They've still got a few things that they're working on estimates currently as they work to go out to market for bids and actual hard numbers. But for right now, I think we are in a good position financially with the project. So not anticipating any surprises at this time. And we've got, our next call is actually this coming Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Any questions on that project? I know it's been kind of the rinse and repeat updates for the last few months, but.
Any questions?
No, I don't have any.
No, thank you.
Okay. All right, moving on to the runway 927 safety area, program definition. So right in and around the time of the May board meeting, we submitted the revised draft. At the request of the FAA, they wanted to set up a one-on-one meeting to go over the report in more detail, just to get an understanding on what the findings were. We have yet to be able to get that meeting set up. We're still working with the program manager to get a time that fits everyone's schedule. So hopefully we'll have a better report on this next month. But we still have a few things left to do. Once we get the one-on-one, the goal is to make a trip to the ADO in Chicago, go over the report with the larger FAA team, as well as NDOT, and then hopefully close this thing out here before, likely this fall. That's our goal. With that, we do have another invoice that we'll need board approval, signature, and that's invoice number 58412.4-11. In the total amount of $7,530.74. Of that is a local share of $376.54.
Guys are breaking the bank for us this month.
Yeah. Do you have a motion to accept that?
I make a motion to accept the claim invoice 58412 .4-11.
Do we have a second?
Question.
Yes.
It's a different number and a different amount than what's on my paperwork. What,
There's two invoices tonight, Dan.
-10? I don't have a -11, just -10.
Is he looking at a CHA report?
Mhm.
He's looking at last month's.
That's last month.
That's last month's thing.
Yeah,
May
that's
14th.
last month.
Okay.
I'll get you the right one. I'll get you the right one.
All right, I will second that.
Been second, John.
He seconded it.
Yeah, okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve CHA invoice 58412.4-11 for the amount of $7,530.74. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Okay,
All right, moving on to the wildlife hazard site visit. We're still in the review process, so there really hasn't been any update, but we've been holding on to a small amount of labor, so we thought we'd just go ahead and invoice this. So we'll need board approval for CHA invoice 58412.5-03, amount of $583.68, of which is a local share of $29.19.
I so move.
it's been moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second to pay the invoice 58412.5-03 in the amount of $583.68. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
With moving on to the corporate tax ceiling E1 project. So looking at a start of construction for July 8th with Fenn and Brown. I'm still working through some of the details on their proposed alternate to constructing the pavement section. Still reviewing those things with Fenn and Brown, but still on course for a July 8th start. And Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe NDOT indicated that July 1st was the date for when they would take this, I guess the purchase order would be issued for this work.
Correct. So they have already submitted everything to the state. The state's fiscal year starts July 1. With the holiday being in that week, he wasn't sure when the PO would be officially sent out, but that is coming. And I talked to Marcus on Friday, and he said that that ball is already rolling. So we've got the contract signed with Fenn and Brown, and we're moving forward really well with that.
And that's all we got for this month.
Okay. Any questions for
I
Nathan?
don't think so.
Nope. Okay, thank you, guys.
All right, thank you very much.
Yep. All right. Now, next on the agenda is the manager's report.
Yeah. Fuel usage, we're continuing our upward trend. We're still up about 7,500 gallons from where we were last year. So that's nice to have that, that trend continue through the summer. And with something that we're talking about, I'm hoping that we'll see a nice increase here. And we can move right into that new business if you guys don't have any questions on the fuel usage report or the income statement right now.
Anybody have any questions?
No.
No. Okay.
So I'll skip ahead since we were talking about the fuel usage report. So I was approached by one of our current tenants who works with a lot of our local agriculture leaders, and we do not have a discount program set up for air tractors. I was approached about one specific company. Upon looking into it, speaking with legal, we can't offer one company a discount and not offer another company a discount since the FBO is government owned. So I've sat down and I gave you guys a draft of what we could look at as far as discounts for fuel with AgriFlights. This would be air tractors that are out, it could be, spreading fungicides or insecticides. They could be planting winter wheat, rye, different things like that for erosion control. We have a lot of different AgriFlight companies use our airport, and having a separate fuel structure set up for those aircraft just makes sense. It's not something that we'd ever been approached about previously, and so I wanted to bring up the discussion for the board. Sitting down and really doing math, you guys can see the discount program that I came up with. There's 4 different options there, and it's up to you guys. All of those cover our cost, obviously, plus put a little bit back into the bank to cover the guys' time and their fuel incentive cost, that we have that built into our price as well. So all of those different discounts include that. So it's really up to the board to decide what you guys feel is appropriate and fair for that. I mean, we would love to see, there's one company, if they, depending on how we get this price, they could purchase 22 to 25,000 gallons in the 6 or 8 weeks that they're operating out of Warsaw. So it's not an insignificant amount of fuel. Most of our based customer jet discount is based off of a 12-month aggregate of their fuel purchase. Because these companies have a very limited time window in which they operate, they would never purchase enough fuel the rest of the year to get to that aggregate level. That's why I think it's smart to come up with their own discount. The other reason for a deeper discount is it takes almost no labor for our staff to fill these operations. We do not actually fill the aircraft. They have their own tanks. Once these aircraft start in the morning, they're big they're turboprops, and the start-stop sequence on those motors is very, very hard on them if they were to shut down every time they need fuel. So they have an exemption, and they are allowed to do hot refuelings. So they'll pull in, they park a certain way, and then they have a crew that comes in from behind the wing, and then they refuel the aircraft with both fuel and then whatever they are spreading, whether that's like an insecticide or or planting certain seeds, different things like that. So for us, they just show up with a tank, typically 1,500 all the way up to 6,000 gallons on some of these big operations. We fill them up, and then they go and fill their aircraft. So it's very little labor, which is another reason we can get that cost down so much. So I've given you guys 4 different options. It is entirely up to the board, though. That first option there would be that discount of $1.75 a gallon. That would be the most discount I would recommend. And then it's up to you guys on where you feel is best for the airport and its profit margin. So
Okay. What are you guys thinking?
Well, this kind of stuff usually ends up a little bit of negotiations. I guess I would suggest that we authorize Nick to negotiate a discount 2, 3, or 4.
What do you think, Gene?
I'm thinking we go with the discount number 4. The reason is I'd like to see our profit go up a little bit. And we've been in a hole for so long. I don't like that. I don't like to be in debt to the people that live in Warsaw, Indiana. I would say we'll go with the discount number 4 to start out with and try that for this year.
So you good with 4 versus the other 2, Dan?
Yes, I'm going with 4.
No, I know you are, Dan.
Oh,
Yes, that would be ideal for us. But I want to give Nick some room if we need to make it happen.
You want to go with either 3 or 4? Is that what you're thinking?
I could go with that at this point.
Say that again, Gene. 3 or
Either
4?
discount number 3 or number 4. I would suggest you try 4 first and see how receptive they are to that.
Okay.
If they think that they can get a better price someplace else, then we'll go to the second option.
Okay.
How comfortable are you with doing that with them?
It's fine.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm hearing then, if we try for 4, and
Yeah.
if that's not acceptable to them, we go to 3,
Right.
okay?
And the only devil's advocate that I will also throw in there, just to think about, as we are doing this, this is not for one company. This is all
Everybody.
air tractor flights in and out of Warsaw. And it is a small market and a small window, but if we can increase that business, we support AgriFlights now. There's companies
Right.
that come in, I mean, we've had people as far away as Texas fly in equipment with their trailers that service our community. A lot of people don't know this. We support over 500,000 acres of fields and agriculture out of our airport every year with all of the different AgriFlights that we have. Because there's other counties around us that don't have airports that have the ability, or they don't have an airport. Whitley County doesn't have an airport. A lot of the fields that get sprayed over there, they either operate out of Warsaw or Huntington.
Mhm.
If we can have an attractive enough fuel discount for those flights, we may be able to pull more of those
More of
for the
that.
surrounding areas,
Right.
for them to come and purchase their fuel from us.
Plus, Gene, what Nick hasn't told you is a good deal of those people bring their fuel with them. They don't buy from us now. Even though they're using the airport, they're not buying from us. So the goal here is to get them to buy from us as well as use the airport.
Yeah.
They'll
So-
normally purchase 200 to 500 gallons of courtesy gas because they might be at the airport for 3 days. But these aircraft are burning 60 to 80 gallons an hour, 8 hours a day times 5 aircraft. You can do the math. They can get their fuel cheaper because it is on a truck.
Yeah.
And so we are competing with very small airports that have no staff, that these aircraft can't operate out of, but have self-serve prices that are discounted at the 2 and 3 level. And that's their list price because they've got a 3,500-foot runway. Well, they don't sell any jet fuel. So they can mark it up, 10 cents, 15 cents over cost. Well, that's great for the AgriFlight business. They just drive their semi there, fill up their truck at those self-serve fuel stations, and then fly to or drive to the airports that they can operate out of.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to get our airport to a Stark County airport down in Knox. They're always way cheaper than us just because, they don't have the overhead. Rochester's their jet fuel's typically a little bit cheaper than us, Wabash, because they don't have the same type of operation or overhead that we do.
Mhm. We'll see what we can
Okay.
nickel out of it.
That's why I suggested it, given a little room to negotiate,
Right.
not try to pin it down tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
So, let me ask you guys this then. Would you be comfortable with authorizing Nick to go all the way down to discount 2 if he feels it's necessary?
If it's necessary, yeah.
You, Dan?
I would go with that, yes.
Okay?
Last resort, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then I'll accept a motion to try for discount 4 first, then 3, but allow Nick to go all the way down to 2
2,
if
if
necessary.
necessary.
Okay?
Got it.
Someone wanna
And
make that motion?
this can also be a trial thing where we see how we do this year. If we see, an extra 50,000 gallons out of our customers through this, then we can sit down and say, okay, January 1, 2025, we need to rethink this because we're selling a lot more fuel. Let's, can we wiggle that a little bit one way or another, and we can adjust that then for the next year. Do maybe like a 6-month trial on it. Would you be more comfortable with that? Give me the
Yep.
authorization down to 2, but cap it at 6 months, and then we can assess it again January 1.
Let's do that.
Okay.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay, someone want to make a motion on all that?
I'll make a motion to authorize Nick to negotiate fuel discounts with the flight people. Set it for the rest of the year,
Great.
the rest of this calendar year.
Second.
Okay, we've been moved to second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Along with Fuel Farm, we're bouncing back and forth between new and unfinished business. We have spoken with our fuel supplier, World Fuel, and we are working on the self-serve for 100 low lead at the airport. Sitting down and looking through piecing a self-serve farm together where we would basically go out and source all of the different parts versus having a company build us a site-specific unit. Cost savings are 5 to 8% if we did it ourselves versus having somebody else do it. And with something like an above-ground 100 low lead fuel tank, I think it is far in the airport's interest for insurance to have a professional company build this. They literally bring them in on a crate and set them in place, and all we have to do is provide a concrete pad and power, 110 or 220 power, depending on which unit we go with. And sitting down and talking with some people who do this for a living, we might save a couple $1,000s, but heaven forbid we do something wrong or we order the wrong filter vessel or whatever the case, it could wind up costing us exponentially more. So I'd like your permission to start soliciting quotes to put in that self-serve fuel farm and get some. I'll have to check it. I think it'll be quotes, but it might be a request for proposal depending on how the project turns out. But if you guys are okay with that, I'll start getting those numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
That's something that we've been asked for years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I know.
Along those lines, just wanted to let the board know, we had a potential fuel release about a week and a half ago. We were receiving a load of Jet A, and one valve was not set correctly, and we were putting that fuel in the wrong tank. And so it was supposed to be going into our Jet East tank. It was put into our Jet West, which was not full, but almost full. We do not have a gallon amount. We've gone through our SPCC. We're working with IDEM and all the appropriate governing bodies, but I just wanted you guys to be aware we are working through that process right now, and I'll update you as we have more information.
Okay, that's what the walls are for, right?
Yeah, yep. The other big thing I would like to ask for in new business is is your approval for request for proposals for new restrooms at the airport. We have tried remodeling ours. We have done the best that we can do internally, but it is to the point where we need to basically start at a blank canvas, have a professional company come in and remodel those restrooms. I would like to, where the old men's restroom is, remove the urinal and have a shower installed. That's one of the biggest requests that we have from our corporate pilots that fly in and out, the charter pilots. If they want to, like on a day like today, if they wanted to go and walk around the airport and, get some exercise, they don't have a place to clean up before their passengers get back. And so that is a big request that we get. And I would like the board's approval to start getting proposals and quotes to have our restrooms completely remodeled.
You're gonna do them both or just the one?
Both, yep. They would stay mostly the same, but we've had plumbing issues with those in the past, and so This will be a substantial remodel. I'm guessing in the $40,000 to $50,000 range between the two of them. And that would be new plumbing installed, and it would fix a lot of current plumbing issues that we have at the airport.
Okay,
Look into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jen, you go with it?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the last thing for that is, we did purchase a new crew car, so if you guys wanna see it, I brought it down, it's out in the parking lot right now. So we were able to get a really good trade on one of our older pieces, or one of our older trucks. And, here in the last 6 months, one of the biggest needs we've had is a third row seat. So we've had, 6, 7, 8 passengers on some of these flights with these businesses coming and going. And so, having that available for our customers with that third row has been our biggest request. And so we were able to purchase a Ford Explorer at a really good price.
Mm.
So you'll see that claim come through next month's meeting. But yeah, I think it was just over 40,000 for a 2024 brand new.
Wow.
It's a nice truck. So
Mhm.
last thing to discuss, we have a few hangars at the airports come to our attention that no longer have aircraft in them, haven't for a little while. And there are rules in place, as long as hangars are being used for aeronautical purposes, they do not have to pay property real estate tax. And so, because they no longer have an aircraft in them, we do need to make that report to the county and let the county know this is the list of hangars. To protect those hangar owners' privacy for right now, we're gonna work with them and try and see if they're going to rent space or if they're going to be selling their hangar since they've sold the aircraft, or what they're going to be doing. But I just wanted to let the board know that is an issue that we need to start looking into.
Right.
Yep.
Get your approval to work with the city attorney to write and draft those letters, send those letters out, and start getting some of those cleaned up a little bit.
Yep,
Okay, yeah.
it's good. Yep. Long time coming.
And other than that, I don't have anything else for the board unless you guys have questions for me.
You guys have any questions?
Oh, I knew about the discount.
Yeah. Okay,
But
any questions from you guys?
No, I'm good.
Okay,
I don't think so right now.
then we will stand adjourned, and I think our next meeting is July 9th.
I think that's correct. Yep. July 9th.
Okay? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.